Welcome to Brain. I'm Joel. This is Dave. And Dave, why did we call this show Brain?
Oh, well, of course, it stands for Bros Reporting Awesome Information Now.
Oh,
It might mean that. Why not?
This week. This week, I think it means that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's get into it.
Today, we're going to be talking about Claude Sonnet 4.5, Tilly Norwood.
Yes.
Sora 2. And OpenAI's hungry appetite for all the chips.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. But we couldn't do any of the stuff that we do without sponsors. So this week's sponsor is Kaleo AI. Let me read you a little something about Kaleo AI. Introducing Kaleo AI, the translation app made for your church to reach everyone in your community. Kaleo AI instantly opens up your church to more than 150 languages with translation available for your Sunday services, classes and programs, sermon recordings, and any other documents and video resources you have. Kaleo's translation models are custom trained on theological concepts and biblical vocabulary to achieve near perfect accuracy for a church context. Because your pastor said epistle, not a pistol. Kaleo AI envisions a future where language is no longer a barrier to the gospel, where anyone in your community can hear the gospel of Jesus Christ and be discipled in their heart language. Sign up at withkaleo.com, which you'll see here, and start translating your church services with 4 hours of free translation, plus VIP white glove onboarding just for Brain Media Consulting listeners. Do it!
So I'm going to start off talking about Claude Sonnet 4.5. It came out now just a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago, actually. There's so much happens in 2 weeks. September 29th is when it was released. And kind of one of the biggest claims that it has is the amount of time that it's been able to work. Well, at least that's one of the kind of the leading points. If you've built anything with like vibe coding, sometimes it just gets stuck. It just stops responding, or
you gotta tell it again, or it just doesn't do the thing.
Yeah, or you say like, "Hey, it looks like you got stuck. Are you everything cool?" Exactly. It's like, "Oh yeah, I'll keep going."
Yes, and there are whole other pieces of third-party frameworks that you can put on top of it to kind of keep it in line.
Yeah, keep poking it.
Exactly.
So in the test, 4.5 worked for 30 hours without any intervention, which is crazy. It's what, like 3.5 days of work. It's almost a week worth of a developer sitting at a computer.
Yeah. And let's be honest. It's like a month's worth of an average developer.
Well, once you put in like snack times and all that, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's like it's a lot of work nonstop. Sure. Now, that's not the measure, the sole measure of productivity.
No.
If you've ever paid somebody by the hour or have been paid by the hour, you know that coming back and saying, hey, boss, it took me 30 hours to do this is not always just the best measure of how your time was used. So, in addition to how long it's worked, the accuracy is an important thing.
Right.
I think we talked recently. Recent is relative, but we talked and you were saying that you were enjoying using Gemini 2.5 Pro for development. Is that still fair to say?
It was, I did for a long time. It was my favorite one.
Yeah. So there was the software engineering, the SWE benchmarks puts the accuracy for 4.5 Claude Sonnet 4.5 at 82%. Gemini 2.5 Pro is 67.2%. So it's about 20% higher than Gemini 2.5 Pro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For 30 hours. In addition to that, it's also scored high in a whole bunch of other categories. So agentic terminal coding, computer use, high school math. It was in the top 2 for agentic tool use, graduate level reasoning, and multilingual Q&A. And now it's good to be fast. It's good to be autonomous. It's good to be accurate. But it's also considered to be the most aligned model
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's just checking all the boxes across the board, across the
That's
benchmarks.
crazy.
It's within the top two, or all the way across.
And I think that OpenAI and Claude, and Anthropic, that's where they divide. I would say it's on the alignment question. From my perspective, that's what I see in the marketplace. So where the Anthropic team has focused so much on alignment, it seems like the OpenAI team are just like alignment. Alignment, maybe
That's a thing.
like let's hire some folks to think about it, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas at Anthropic's, like, that's their deal. They're really about an aligned AI. So
Yeah, and I remember when vibe coding was kind of starting to become very popular and accessible to a lot of people. There were lots of memes about developers, but mostly put out by developers, or like it's never going to replace you. Like it takes 20 hours for it to code, and then takes you 8 hours to fix its 20 hours to code, like that sort of thing. And what we're seeing now is Gemini 2.5 was only released in June, and we've come this far now from
crazy to think about,
kind of making fun of it to 80% accuracy. I don't know how accurate I am.
I promise
coding,
you. Well, here's
but
the thing:
80% feels pretty good.
And there's a history in the development world where you remember peer coding, where you'd put two programmers at the table together. They'd have the same screen. They'd code in pairs so that they could cover each other's problems. They could recognize quickly when damage was being done. Because that's the thing with code, right? It's like sometimes a bug is very pernicious. It kind of sticks around. You cannot identify it. And it's best to have a couple different eyes. And there are many, many different approaches to doing that.
4 eyes.
Maybe preferably 4 sometimes. And if you're wearing glasses, like 8. And so the fact that it can be that accurate in a timely fashion, it solves just huge problems.
I just don't think that if I coded for 30 hours straight, that 80% of it would be perfect.
No, and if it was important code, like we'd all be screwed.
Thanks. So what worries me though is people that are still now, so from June till now, who are still thinking, AI is not going to, it's not going to be a big thing. Right. Like Yarl's going to need me. That worries me.
So here's the alert to the community.
You have to learn how to develop applications with AI assisting you. Something really interesting that the CEO of Anthropic said. He said the vast majority of code that is used to support Claude and to design the next Claude is now written by Claude. So as they're releasing these new updates that are getting better and better, they're being written by Claude.
Yeah, exactly.
So you really need to learn how to harness that power to accomplish more.
For sure. The whole industry is being revamped, it seems, every couple weeks. So, I mean, it's even hard to run an AI show. Like this podcast will be challenging because there's so much ground being taken in so many directions on this thing that it's like, I don't know if in 2 weeks from now, we might be talking about like something that is more culturally like just changing whole cultures. You know, it seems like it's moving at a pace that is remarkably, it's like it's beyond my mind. I cannot understand.
And we can't, I've been meaning to say, like, we can't cover everything that happens.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just impossible.
Yeah.
And there's going to be things that even with the two of us spending 2 weeks researching that we still don't know.
Yeah.
I have conversations with individuals where they're like, "Did you hear about this?" And I was like, "No, tell me about it." And like, right. And then I'll tell them about stuff that they haven't heard. And it's just this cycle that just never ends. Yeah. We can literally spend a week. I spent the first week after our last episode, coming up with notes and researching. And by the end of that week, everything was irrelevant.
Yeah.
I had to start again this week.
I spent the last 2 weeks just working on the slogan, but then you did it. So
yeah. And that was with AI's help. Like, give me some ideas.
I was like, maybe I could do better. Than
I worked for 30 hours, boss. Now it has one more stat actually that's really interesting is intelligence per watt. and how much is it contributing per watt of energy used. So there's an AI energy scoreboard on Hugging Face.
Okay.
Most of them are locally hosted LLMs,
Right.
but that's a really interesting kind of metric to
That's
watch.
a cool measure to watch. Yeah, for sure.
It has a 200,000 200,000 token context window. It's available in Cursor now. So check out Claude Code for either CoPilot or Cursor.
So have you used it inside of Cursor yet?
No.
Okay. I'm interested to see if that context and work window is kind of actively there inside of a coding IDE like that. Like it does it does make projects a little bit more like, I want you to do this, and then just come back to it when it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with like the YOLO style modes.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
you just set it and just go. Now, if you're new to vibe coding, a good plan is key to having it run that long and actually just build something while you're asleep.
Yep.
Having a really good, well thought out, detailed plan is super important. Just like if you're working with humans,
For sure.
you can tell. Often you can tell one of the agents, just build me a booking website for my scooter or something, and it'll just go do it. But it won't be the way that you envision. So it's just come up with a good plan, use AI to come up with a good plan, and then feed it that plan, and it'll work for much longer. It'll be much more complete.
So we should talk about GPT-5 release, given that that's what you're saying, because in the example that they showed in the keynote that they were talking about GPT-5 release, one of the things that they went through was on the idea with the developer that brought a wireframe, literally gave it a wireframe, and the first thing the agent does is write up a plan, like an actual, this is my development plan, these are my phases of work, this is my tasks in each phase. Like it does all the planning first. And there's two reasons that's really important, obviously, in software development, is like so that we can understand what the thing is doing, and so that we can catch it halfway, if it fails. So
it's interesting that it's almost an extension of train of thought, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it has a different way of tracking its train of thought when you're building an application versus just asking a question.
Totally.
It's really cool. Now, another side shoot from that release was a product called Imagine with Claude.
Oh, yeah, you were mentioning this.
Super interesting. They released it they set out first, they're just going to put it out for a few days, but I think it is now available for both Pro and Max users. And with Imagine with Claude, you have a sort of desktop environment, and you just say what you're thinking of building. Let's say you're thinking of my scooter rental company that I thought of. I'm
looking forward to that.
yeah. Just rent my scooters. I got power, I got manuals. You got to pick it up in my garage.
Yeah.
So you say I want this site for scooter rentals. It'll build you the front end. Nothing behind it, and it'll do it in seconds.
Right.
Almost instantly.
It's a veneer.
It is, because behind that there is nothing. There are buttons that they don't go anywhere yet.
Yeah.
There's drop downs that don't have anything. There's functions. There's maps, but they don't do anything. In fact, a map will just be an AI generated screenshot of the map.
No way.
But once you click it or start to drag it, it'll build what is needed to do that in the back end. So as you click buttons, it builds out these portions of the application that you need as you need them.
So it kind of interprets your interaction with the thing in the way you would want it to behave.
Yeah, so you can give it either instructions that it's like, okay, now when I click this is what I want to happen.
Right.
Or you can just start using it and it will figure it out as it goes. So instead of waiting for 30 hours for it to build the entire experience, within seconds, you have an interface and you can just start clicking through it. So I was thinking about when I would do UX studies or rapid prototyping of digital products, you would we had this technique called the wizard behind the curtain technique, where the person would say, I think that when I click this, I want this to happen. And you would have somebody in the background kind of mimicking that scenario.
Right.
Now you don't have to have somebody, and it will actually work. So as you go through it, as you kind of rapidly prototype this product through a day, it will build it only as you go. And then at the end of the day, you could say, now any of the features that we haven't built, just hide them.
Right.
And you've got an MVP. You
Yes.
have a product that you can actually push live right now. And then tomorrow, build out the other buttons, build out the other interactions.
Totally different industry, which is the user testing industry. Sorry.
Yeah.
Man, I remember those days when we were building software and we would sign up for a user testing platform and record hundreds of videos of people walking through the product. And it's the most angering thing you could ever do in your life. It's like, the button is right there.
Yeah.
Just click the button. That's what it's made for. But this is way interesting because it's really the end game is considered, but not so much so that they know that it has it built already. That's crazy.
It's almost like a shortcut through things like card sorting exercises and like all of that data hierarchy exercises.
Yes.
Because people will tell you, if I click here, I expect these things.
Yep.
And it just happens.
So
you can record those sessions then, or even have products that are finished, compare the way that people have used them, and then figure out the right path forward from there.
Man, the world.
Yeah. So what do you got?
So Sora 2. We should talk about Sora 2 because
I've been receiving ridiculous videos from Joel all week.
I want to cover two things. I believe it's the first time they've done an invite code for a platform. And so what happens, and I got an invite code by going onto the Discord for OpenAI, which I've been a member of since I think week 4 after they launched it. And I sat in the Discord wait for claim code channel for literally 2 hours, waiting for people would post them like, I got an extra one. I don't know who these people are who have extra invite codes that they don't have close friends or family members that should have them. I gave mine immediately away.
Did you not have a close friend or family member that could give you one?
I didn't.
That's shocking.
I didn't have the patience to go ask my close friends and family, honestly.
Because it would take you more than 2 hours to track down a friend that would share with you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's telling. It's telling of my current.
So a stranger hooked you up.
Stranger hooked me up with a code. I got the code. I installed it, and I have been on it ever since.
Yes, I know.
Stunningly good. And I'm talking specifically about the app version. So if you go to the App Store and you download Sora onto your phone, you can do these cameos. So it allows you to record 30 seconds or whatever of your face and then recite a few numbers, and then it has your voice.
Sorry, that's you singing numbers? Like
No,
you recited a few numbers?
Actual digits.
Okay.
Right. So 36, 52, 104.
Examples
whatever.
of numbers.
Examples of numbers.
Yeah, those are good.
In case you didn't know what those were. And so, I mean, the AI is taking over. There's going to be a time when we know nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm preparing us for that. I am prepared as well. So what was I going to say?
Sora 2? You're talking about the ridiculous cameos you've been making all week.
So I've been making cameos. I've arm wrestled Sam Altman in a world.
You're going to need to share one here.
I'll share one. This is the one of my D&D character I spoke of last week, of my D&D character jumping off a roof onto using rope trick and landing on the ground, and then harnessing himself into a Warforged co-party member.
Nerd.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you who care, it's really funny. For those of you who don't, pay attention to the little French man in the costume. Here he is.
The air! Watch this, mon ami. Rope trick. Ha! It holds, yes? And now we swing. Hop, merci, ground. I land like a cat. All right, big friend. Open the...
Harness ready. Climb in.
Oui, parfait.
Snug, as always.
All right. Yeah, stuff like that. It's... All of this is done with just a few prompts and your likeness. And you can include anyone else who's made their likeness available on the platform.
Yes.
So that's what's crazy.
Did Sam Altman make his available?
Yes.
Because there are so many ridiculous.
So obviously, as launch, he probably wasn't imagining that he would be included.
Oh, please show the developers one.
Oh, it's so good. Developers. Yeah, let me show it.
Developers.
This is so ridiculous.
But there's a bunch where
There's the Queen wrestling.
The Queen. There's all kinds.
Yeah, we'll get into them.
We could literally spend hours just showing. I've spent hours using the tool, trying to figure out the best way to prompt the tool to get out of it what you want. I hate the stupid. I wish I could pay. I would actually pay for the watermark. The watermark.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, the watermark. I would pay for that to go away because
I think you will.
I will eventually pay for it to go away.
Although that's an interesting offshoot too, is that some of these tools are forcing their watermark to be on there, so you know it's AI generated.
Right. That's true.
Same with Gemini. When you generate images using Nano Banana, it sticks that little
star
thing, and then you got to crop it out. It takes you a few seconds.
Yeah, I mean, and the funny thing about that is that they're watermarking content that they've taken to train models that they're now using to make content.
Yeah.
So like, does it belong to them? Should they be allowed to stamp it with their stamp? Anyways.
Yeah. Well, that makes me an excellent segue.
Okay.
Unless you've got more to say.
No, go.
Have you heard of the model? There's a new model called Tilly Norwood. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay. hot item.
Okay.
Out of the UK by a company called Particle 6. It is. Let me just read you a quote.
Sure.
Okay. It's because this is going to change another industry entirely. Here's a quote by somebody from that industry. "Good Lord, we're screwed. That is really, really scary. Come on, agents. Don't do that."
Okay.
That quote is by Emily Blunt.
No. Okay.
Okay. So Particle 6 is a AI-driven production company.
Okay.
And they have produced this AI actress called Tilly Norwood, who they're trying to get her signed with an agent so that she can be in movies as an actress. They're trying to position her, and I'm saying her. It's an it at best.
Yeah.
But they're trying to position her as a viable actress, and she does interviews, she does Q&As, she can respond in real time.
She can do like all of the pre and post promotion.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
Yeah. She has social media. She's been on podcasts. So there's Eline, I think her name is Aline,
Okay.
the lady that started this company.
Aline.
Sure.
Yep.
Could be from the UK. So she has started Sequoia, which is an AI talent studio.
Yep.
And their goal is to make more of these models and have them represented by agents. So that's where this ties back into like the idea that I've taken.
No, wait. Wait. When you're saying being represented by agents, do you mean
No, I mean human agents. I mean, like agents that are like, hey, we've got this great actress. Would you please put her into your?
I guess is my.
It could also be agentic. This could be an agentic model. It's not.
Okay. I'm just thinking about the future, you know?
Yeah. And then hence the quote, "Come on, agents, don't do that."
Yes, right.
So the tech behind it, they don't talk about specifics necessarily about Tilly Norwood, but they do say on this site that they use cutting edge tools like Sora, DeepSeek, 11 Labs across the entire production pipeline. The CEO is often discuss building proprietary tools within Particle 6 to optimize internal workflows, to avoid reinventing the wheels. There's no mentions of architecture, model weights, data sources, training protocols, or hardware.
Right. But it is one. It's just so I'm trying to get my mind around this. It is one person they're modeling. Is Tilly Norwood an actress? Like
That's such a loaded question. So there is a video that you could probably show
right now
here, which is Tilly Norwood, a little snippet of kind of like how she is, and she looks like a human woman, and they're positioning her as somebody that would replace other real actresses.
Okay, I guess I'm questioning what's the name of the company? Something 6?
Particle 6.
Particle 6. So Particle 6, though, are they training this model to do more actors, or are they training the model to be?
She is her own actress. She is her own actress.
Okay.
She doesn't act like others.
Right.
She is herself.
Right.
But where that copyright challenge comes into place is, she was taken from the actions of thousands of people,
right, of course,
and folded into this one person who they want to have represented by an agent.
Yeah.
When couldn't you just recreate her?
Yeah.
And then what happens with so we already know from other court decisions that you cannot copyright something that is purely AI built.
Yes, correct.
That there is not enough human involvement in the creation of AI art in order to copyright it. So what happens if you have a movie where an AI character is in there? Like, how much human involvement is actually going into the Norwood's acting?
Yeah.
And could you actually copyright that?
Well, that reminds me of this past week as well. There was the news about that AI artist that got signed to that $3 million record deal, which is also mind-blowing. Effectively, this UK poet is turning her poetry into songs and representing those songs through this artist, this AI avatar, and that avatar got signed to a huge deal.
Oh.
That, by the way, just in the music industry, that size of a deal is an immensely large deal for that price. So good for you, AI.
So I'm going to break it down to some components of what makes an AI actress and kind of how we've used it. So if you have a photograph of a model, and you try to change their clothes or put them in a different place or turn their head or there's a certain amount of manipulation that can happen where the question arises: did you pay that model to do that shot in that context, or did you pay her to just stand there once? You took a great photo and now you can manipulate it a million ways.
Right.
So we've seen, let's say in video games, the ragdoll effect.
Yep.
At some point, somebody did some motion capture.
Right.
They rolled down some stairs, they
Yes.
fell over there, and their motion was captured. And that movement has been copied a million times.
Yes.
All across video games, across animation.
Totally. The stance where someone is just breathing. The idle stance.
In Disney, they took the boy walking across the stones.
Yeah.
They animated it, and then years later, they reused that animation with a new skin.
Yep.
Did that boy get paid again? Probably not. So there's kind of this line, like how much can you reuse it? How much can you manipulate it? We've faked people's voices.
Yep.
So we faked motion. We faked people's voices. Adrian Brody, his Hungarian accent in The Brutalist was augmented to sound more realistic. The editor actually used his own voice as a native Hungarian speaker to repair some of the vowel sounds using AI in Adrian Brody's speech. So we've got motion, we've got voices. We've made people look younger using CGI, and we've used AI to make people look. So in Indiana Jones,
like this. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, just keep doing that, even if we don't have something. Just mess with me. So in the Irishman, they actually that's a super cool technology where they used infrared witness cameras to kind of paint a person's face and then map a new face onto them. Mandalorian, they used the deepfake for Luke Skywalker, Rogue One, to produce a younger Carrie Fisher. There's actually a lot. We've replaced people after they've died.
Yeah. Carrie Fisher is that.
Yeah. And Jeff Bridges in Tron 2. So like, where does their permission to use their likeness come into play after they've passed away?
Did we talk about this last episode where like we had this idea that Facebook could release a service where you could revive someone based on their history? Was that me and you who were talking?
It wasn't us, no.
Okay, wow. Let's do that, Facebook.
Yeah. So if you base the training off of one person, we would say that that's definitely a copy.
Right.
If we base it off two people, like a child is basically trained off of two models.
Here's you
know that it's based on those two people.
Yes.
What if you train it on 10,000 people?
Yeah.
Like where does the copyright claim kind of stop when you've copied the motion, the voice, the face? Like you've taken it all from different people.
It's interesting.
1,000 different people.
The idea of copyright is that one person is the progenitor of the ideas or of the created output, right? Of the work.
Yeah.
So it is fascinating to think like in a world where we've obfuscated creativity through the thousands of different data points that train it, we've basically built a way to circumvent any copyright. It's very scary. It means that that person who is producing that the truly original thing is kind of falls to the wayside slowly as they get included into more and more and more data sets.
Yeah. How many pixels from your picture can I steal before it's not your picture anymore? Like,
and at what point does the variation of color now down to the variation of the pixel? Now, there's billions and billions and billions of pixels you could use. We just decided to use this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another fun fact along these lines, I was speaking to Adrian, our technical producer, or whatever we want to call her, earlier. And was telling her about the Trivago commercial, with his giant white teeth.
Yeah.
But he doesn't actually look like that. They have used AI to enhance his mouth so that when they localize the commercial into different languages, it moves naturally.
Yes.
Does it? Because it should. That was the idea.
Right.
But because of that, we kind of crossed the uncanny valley line. And now he's got these giant white bottle opener teeth that everybody's talking about. And if you look at pictures of him, he actually doesn't look like that at all. His teeth fit in his mouth and it's incredible.
He's actually a delightful person in real life.
We don't know that.
We don't know.
But he doesn't look like that. And that's what's important. Because people's looks matter more.
Of course, than what's inside.
I'm actually happy to see that this kind of Tilly Norwood thing is getting pushed, that we're challenging these laws. It takes somebody to try to do something new, to know where the boundaries are. When that lawsuit happened in 2019, where you tried to copyright a digitally produced work, we established some guidelines. So this will at least help establish some guidelines.
Yes.
And I want to loop it back to storytelling. Like we use these technologies, Sora, Tilly.
Yeah.
We use it to tell stories and share experiences. And I think that's kind of the good that comes out of this.
Yeah, I think that there are right now, just to bring it to Sora 2 again, the main complaint, and you see it in a ton of videos. I would say 10 to 15% of the videos on Sora 2 right now or on the app are content policy violation videos. They are videos that complain about Sora having a content policy restriction for the thing they're trying to make. So it's everywhere. It's crazy. It's like Abraham Lincoln talking about how he wishes Sora didn't have any content policy restrictions. And like Martin Luther King, I have a dream of Sora not having any policy restrictions.
I feel like you shouldn't do that impression. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So
policy violations.
So that's what everyone's
feels like a
complaining
policy
about.
violation. Your impression. Let's what do you got next?
I was going to talk a little bit about this massive consolidation of compute power under one giant entity called OpenAI.
It's like a Hungry Hippos game with one hippo.
Exactly.
And the marbles are computer chips.
In the last 2 weeks, there has been over $1 trillion in potential chip deals done by one company, OpenAI.
$1 trillion.
$1 trillion. They've done the multi-year deal with AMD now.
Yes.
They did that $100 billion deal with NVIDIA. So that was a few weeks back, but still within the time space of this conversation. Scope doesn't matter anymore, I guess, of time. They're doing a huge deal with Samsung where they're building new infrastructure for a brand new approach to AI compute. And they kind of, I'm sure they're part of some they're backing the support of Intel's resurgence as a chip maker. It's kind of crazy that all of these things are happening centralized around. These are all competitors.
Yeah.
Like they are collectively saying, no, we're going to effectively all jump in with this one company. And it's blowing my mind, honestly, in the amount of business that's being done.
Yeah. So we have OpenAI providing 10 gigawatts of processing. AMD is providing 6 more gigawatts of processing. The deal was actually super interesting.
They took 10% of AMD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how we're going to give you some chips and part of our company to say thanks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
So the CEO of OpenAI, the CEO of NVIDIA called it a very clever and very different sort of deal because it's so outside of what you would expect.
Yeah.
To give them product plus.
NVIDIA fighting within AMD for years on like AI chip processes. And then all of a sudden the company that NVIDIA invested $100 billion over the next few years with is now competing with itself since 10% of it belongs to AMD or, they own 10% of AMD. It's
160 million shares.
Yeah.
And on that news, AMD's shares rose 43% in the following days. It was crazy.
Yeah. So I'm wondering what will happen to really a lot of the other frontier model builders who are needing compute when it's all.
Sorry, you're saying frontier?
Yeah, the frontier models.
You're saying frontier?
No, frontier models. Yeah.
Frontier. Well, you never go to the front.
You
front
go,
of the line.
Depends on where you're from.
Sorry. Continue.
So the frontier models are using all of this compute, right?
Yeah.
And they the more it is segmented into one entity, the less access to this energy. I'm thinking about the electricity required to run all these things.
Yeah.
Right. That'll all be centralized in one company, right? It feels like that right now, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I don't know. There's a risk there.
You might want to cut this part out. But Samsung actually just released a really crazy model. This was just like, I think it was Thursday that they released it. It was to prove that you could have a very intelligent model at a very small size. It's like, I think it's like 7 megabytes. Like or 7 million parameters.
Right.
It's so small. And yet is actually oh man, I should look this up.
Well, that's it. Oh, wait.
In terms of accuracy,
do we want to do you want to do that as part of brain teasers?
I should.
We should do that as part of brain teasers.
I thought I wrote it down and I didn't. It's in one of the benchmarks, it did twice as well as Gemini 2.5 Pro.
What?
Yeah. It's crazy. I got to look it up. We'll do it in brain teasers.
Let's do it in brain teasers.
It actually it got 45% accuracy on the ARC AGI 1 test, which to score that well on an AGI test when it's a 7 million parameter
that's unbelievable
model. It is unbelievable. On the ARC AGI 2 test, it got an 8% accuracy rating. Gemini 2.5 is like 4 point something. It's like low 4s.
Yeah.
So it did almost twice as well as Gemini's 2.5.
That's
on the AGI test. And it's 7 megabytes. Sorry, 7 million parameters.
7 million parameters. Brain teasers.
Brain teasers.
Let's talk about the fact that Apple just released a $3 billion parameter AI that lives on your iPhone, totally not connected to the internet.
Oh.
Yeah. So fully disconnected from the cloud, runs on the neural networks, on the chips on the device, and is a 3 billion parameter AI going onto phones. And they're saying, a lot of people are saying like it's very creative, very responsive, and like a super strong multimodal model.
Oh,
Right on a device.
right.
No more internet needed.
That's fun. It's really exciting to see Apple kind of catching up to the other.
I know, right?
providers.
It's crazy.
Google Home now includes Gemini. That's
Yes.
getting rolled out to a whole bunch of devices as far back as 2015.
Yes, so it'll work on all my home devices, which is cool. I have the little speaker pucks, in almost every room.
Yeah, I've been asking, like, I've been wondering for it's like 2 years now. Like when is this gonna get better?
Totally.
Like when is Gemini coming here?
Yep.
Right
Right now, it's just a vocal light switch in my home. Is what it does. It's a light switch for our home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, because you try to ask it something, it's like, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, should I wear a raincoat? It's like, I don't know. You must use the words I want you to use, and then it doesn't answer.
Yeah.
So you can be a little bit more natural in the conversation. So you can say something like, turn off all my lights except for the porch lights.
Yes.
Whereas before you would, I don't even know how many people realize this, but you could chain commands.
Yes.
So you would have to say, turn off all the lights and turn on the porch lights.
That's
and so
right.
it would have to like turn these on and turns those on.
Yeah.
And it would just go through everything in steps that didn't always make sense.
Yep.
Now you can just use natural language. The cameras can detect what is happening, not just that some pixels change and that there looks like there's a box in the porch.
Yes.
It can tell you very specifically what's happening. You can search your history, say what time did that delivery come, and it'll know all the context from all the devices.
Cool. Yep.
It starts up faster. The devices start up faster. They crash less. Yeah, so it sounds really great. But not all of the devices are coming sort of standard with it. So there's a new subscription model, $10 a month roughly for kind of what you've been getting, the standard recording and history of all your devices. It's $20 a month if you want the actual AI detection in the cameras and all that. So $200 a year. Here's what you could do instead. You could go to Walmart or Facebook Marketplace and spend $1,000 on the cheapest gaming PC you can find. Install Ubuntu, Docker, Home Assistant to handle all of your smart speakers, your doorbells, and your lights. You install Frigate to record your video recordings and log it. You could buy some cameras from Reolink or ESP Home. Smart speakers, configure it all. It'll be a fun project. It'll take you days. And it'll cost you about 5 years worth of service with Google Home. So if you want to self-host home automation, you can.
You can.
And it's a fun project. Data's all stored in your house. If that's safer, if being stored in your front closet is safer than Google's server, great. But it's just interesting. I started going through the thought when I first thought $200 a year. I was like, geez, that's a lot of money. And then I started kind of calculating how much I would actually spend.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more to do it yourself, but you could.
Yeah, I think the convenience of when the power goes out and turns back on, let's just say it does that. The power turns off because your community gets hit by lightning or whatever. The power goes out and turns back on. A system that you build yourself, probably a little bit less reliable on let's turn everything that you had set up back on. Software, hardware, all the things, right? Whereas these little devices that are built by a manufacturer that are made for that, they turn back on.
So I would suggest that if you're self-hosting, you can at least have it on a battery backup.
True.
So even if the power goes out, even if your internet goes out, you actually can still record 2 years. And so some people that's very valuable.
For sure. So that extends it out from like the 5-year payback period to about
another $600 on a great UPS, a little diesel generator for $5,000.
But I guess what I was going to say is the opposite side of that is that you don't have someone listening into every conversation that you're ever having about anything ever.
Yes. Right? Assuming that your home setup is more secure than Google's.
Yes.
Which might be.
All right. So this was interesting that Microsoft Satya Nadella reorged Microsoft around AI. So like the top leaders, it seems, at Microsoft have been mapped organizationally to structure the whole of Microsoft around an AI future. And it's kind of like it was big news, but not a lot of people understand that like the change management that's required to make that kind of move in an organization that's both that valuable and that large impact wise would be just huge. It must be so important to Microsoft to do this that that they have already planned out how these shifts at the top end of the organization were going to happen, because this is a huge piece of news, and a lot of people don't realize how closely tied to all of these other AI structures Microsoft is. Like it's not just your at home Microsoft 360 that's changing because of AI inputs with whatever CoPilot and GitHub and all these different tools that are using Microsoft's backend. It's like the whole of infrastructure around hosting, around compute, a large proportion of it in the world is Microsoft. So this is a huge deal.
Yeah, and the human impact's huge too. Like how many developers do they have? They're man, wait a second. What do you mean you're going to be centering around AI?
Yes.
The number of people that are doing writing and editing and finance, like all these jobs that can be automated.
Totally.
That's a very scary message to put out to your very large workforce.
Totally.
Handling that change is going to be very, very important.
Yep. How about you? What's next?
Interesting side shoot from Microsoft. Something that I didn't realize, and I think that probably a lot of people don't realize, is that CoPilot is powered by ChatGPT 4. So all the people that are kind of like pushing for you to use CoPilot specifically for work because it's better, it's safer, it's whatever. It might be. I think it's using some like Azure VMs on top of OpenAI's hardware. OpenAI is also hosting.
That's
it.
right.
And it's basically a skin, like a interface to interact with ChatGPT 4. So it's not even using kind of the most up-to-date models yet. I'm sure that's a easy enough switch to flip, although I bet OpenAI is not eager to say CoPilot's just as good as our flagship product. So it's just something worth thinking about, that when you're using CoPilot, you're actually using an interface to ChatGPT 4 that's hosted on OpenAI's servers.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And if you don't believe me, go and ask CoPilot right now, what model are you using? And it will tell you, I am using ChatGPT 4. It's crazy to me that
this company, I mentioned this in our chat this week, like we were talking about this whole CoPilot thing. And I was mentioning how it's interesting that Microsoft, spends huge amounts of money to buy 3 Mile Island to rebuild nuclear power for what is effectively going to be compute. Like almost all of it is going to be used for, if not all of it is going to be used for compute power. And yet in their most prominent tool that they are delivering to the world, it's actually not their compute. I mean, it is in a sense from an infrastructure perspective, but it's just funny that it's someone else's. It's like, it's just fascinating.
Yeah. A couple of interesting things coming out of OpenAI's Dev Day as well. One of theirs was the app integration. So probably at this point, most people that are using ChatGPT regularly will realize like there's Figma and Canva and Booking.com and all those things that we were talking about. The R1, you can build an agent that goes out and does all these things. It actually has integrations now with Uber and Skip and like all these places. So you could theoretically, I haven't done this yet, but I think you should be able to ask ChatGPT to plan me a trip to somewhere where I can have some delicious something food.
Yep.
And it should be able to plan it all and book it all within ChatGPT.
Yes.
I did try the Figma integration. There is some setup that you have to do within Figma. It's not so easy as just like, hey, go make me a wireframe. That you have there's some configuration. You need a paid account.
Yep.
Canva, I didn't have a lot of luck with it either. I tried to get it to add a slide to an existing presentation. I said the colors are all there. Here are the words. Put it in as the last slide. And it kept coming back with some excuses.
Yep. That's interesting. The other thing that is kind of showing up a lot in my news feed is the fact that so much search is happening inside of ChatGPT, and so many integrators or partners are building search results for ChatGPT. So like last episode, we talked about Shopify integrating with ChatGPT. They've done that now. But it looks like that's just a framework that OpenAI has made available for a bunch of people, for different large businesses, so that they can be integrated so closely with now one of the largest search engines in the world.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, isn't it, that Google has had DeepMind and its AI work happening for many, many years. It's not like it's new, but it seems like the commercialization of AI was kind of sparked by OpenAI, and now Google has zero problem with just bringing all of their products to the fore. They're like building constantly. I was using Flow again yesterday, which is one of their AI video manipulation editing tools, and it is stunningly good. The tools for editing video now in AI are really, really amazing. So there's a huge competition happening, but it's really these two entities.
Yeah. There was another piece that came out that kind of relates to what we talked about last week. So it's called Agent Builder, and it's within
OpenAI.
Yeah, and it's kind of like N8N. It's kind of like Lindy. It's kind of like these others. Now it doesn't look like it does have access to tools like MCPs, Stripe, Gmail, Shopify. You can add an MCP server that's not already kind of listed there. It feels like an early version. Yeah, it does. It feels a little bit limited in what it can do. It's definitely not as powerful as either Lindy or N8N or Zapier.
Agreed.
But it's cool to see that they're going that route. It makes a lot of sense that they're doing that.
I don't know why they didn't make the process flow an agent. Right now, if you go into Agent Lab and you try to build one, you have to bring the nodes on their templates, but you have to bring the nodes on yourself. You have to set them all up yourself. Like Lindy that we were talking about on the last episode does that work. Tries to find out what nodes should exist where in what order and does a pretty good job of it. This doesn't do that. It's literally just a more manual flow and tying your. So it's weird.
Yeah, it is. It feels like for a company that's so great at automation and natural language, it's kind of a step backwards.
Yeah.
How long do you think until N8N rolls out their natural language builder?
I would say, I don't know. I think it's going to be a huge thing when it happens, and it's going to be I'm going to say in the next 2 months.
Okay.
Just based on what I'm seeing in the dev environment around N8N. Because the thing about N8N is all of their code base is open source. So you get to see what's being committed to the libraries.
Right.
So it's
I'm actually surprised, and maybe somebody has, but I'm surprised that I haven't seen anybody that's hacked together a self-hosted version of N8N with a natural language.
That's true.
LLM.
Haven't seen that. And maybe there are, but they're just like, they're small teams that haven't started yet. Or, you know what I mean? Like, that's a really cool idea. Figure 3.
Yes.
So this new robot that Figure, which has been building humanoid robots now, I want to say for 5 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So they've had Figure 2. Figure 2 has been working in the BMW X3 body shop now for 5 months. And I think Figure 2 is kind of a cool spot to start.
Yep.
It's been working for 10 hours per day. It has a 5-hour battery, so I guess it gets some coffee breaks in between. It sits in the lunch. I was picturing this. So in the process, they have to pick up pieces of body, like they pick up parts and they put them all into this machine in these certain spots, and the machine sticks them all together and then passes it down the line. And so Figure 2 goes over, gets the parts and sticks it on the thing, and gets the next parts and sticks it, and he just fills up the machine, and then the machine does what it's supposed to do. 10 hours a day, 5-hour battery, has a coffee break in the middle, and I could just picture kind of sitting in the in the lunchroom, charging with the other employees, complaining about the union.
What are you working on next?
Oh, sausages for lunch, son? Yeah, it's like just interacting as a colleague.
I'm just thinking about how creepy it would be to be the last human in that factory.
Oh my goodness!
Room, and you're just looking at all the dudes that are charging in the corners.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Me again.
Yeah.
Pay no attention.
And it smells like somebody microwaved sauerkraut. I'm like, come on.
Guys.
Who? Which one of you? Which one of you did this? That's not right. That's the wrong. Why is he there?
And because he's figure one.
So
who brought figure one back in here?
I'm kind of hijacking a little bit here,
right.
but to teach the robots, it's not like LLMs where you can just scrape all of the data on the internet. You have to show it videos.
Yes,
and so they're working on a library of 100,000 videos. They're calling it Project Go Big. where Figures is actually watching people perform day-to-day actions. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about Figure 3?
Yes. So some of the things that are mind-blowing about it is that they're telepathic and that they have a 10 gigabyte millimeter wave connection between each other. So they can transfer their own learning and information in real time, which is crazy because as one fails, the others can learn. And like, we don't do that as humans. It's very difficult for us to convey what we actually mean when we say anything. Mm-hmm. So it's that I think is a huge deal. The other is that this is, I think they're planning to go mass market on this product. Yeah. Like right now it's used in factories. There's 100,000 of them that are in use in factories. Figure 2, I believe. Yeah. And Figure 3, I think, is the first one where they're going to go, I think we're ready for people. Yeah. Which is...
They're about Figure 2 was about $60,000. Mm-hmm. Interestingly, the factory that it was deployed at was already one of the most efficient BMW factories. So they already know how to be efficient in a process, and decided that this robot would be more efficient than their current process. Yep. To me, that's really interesting. So Figure 3, some just kind of checklist of upgrades, new sensors, new vision system, upgraded hands with tactile sensors, wireless charging and data transfer, which you mentioned, a home-friendly design. So it's actually all soft. It has like almost like this covering it, and when it's weird. It looks like skin, like moving on it as it moves. The panels can be removed without tools to make repairs. We talked about at some point the interesting thought that you get Figure, he's working, he's folding your laundry, or he's doing your dishes for you, and he breaks his finger or whatever, or like a sensor goes, and he could actually just go onto Amazon, order the replacement part. The part comes, he picks up the box, opens the box, replaces his own piece. Yep.
Gets delivered by a drone.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Another Figure just walking down the street carrying boxes. Improved battery safety, and scalable manufacturing.
Yeah, and the truth is there are a number of different companies building really, really advanced robots, the humanoid robots. So there's Tesla, obviously, and a few more that are smaller, but Figure seems to be the one. Their approach to the marketplace was, I think, really smart. Like, where are a lot of humans needed, and where can efficiencies be measured clearly? And automation in auto factories is like a huge deal. So I think it's a huge advantage for them.
Yep. All right. Do you have another one?
I think that was the crux of mine.
I'm going to go through some Kickstarters.
Okay.
So a little update. The Ace 2 1 Ace E whatever the tennis player.
Yep.
They raised $880,000.
Okay.
With 20 days to go. So they are killing it. That's about half a million American. Vertex X, the keyboard.
Yes,
which I mentioned. They raised $46,000, 27 days to go, so they're doing well. The keyboard people love keyboards. Mm-hmm. We know a keyboard guy. I know a keyboard guy.
I know a few keyboard guys, actually.
Yeah, and like $200 for a keyboard is nothing for them. And actually, he's super good dude. He got me onto like a really expensive ergonomic keyboard. I don't know, it's like a few $100. Yep. And he said, well, you spent a lot more on your car and you use that way less. It's like, oh shoot, you're right.
Wrong.
I use this thing. I use this thing 5.5 hours a day.
I could use it in my car.
so that's going well. The 7Cal AI calculator, which I love. They're only at $6,500.
Okay.
With only 28 backers. I actually think they're done. I think it's closed. And then that scale has raised $6,500 with 9 days to go. It hasn't moved a lot since we did it last. It's not a good idea.
So I'm going to note one thing along with your updates, and I think it's because of us that this changed. This could be the influence we already have.
Did we affect something for good,
we
or
may have affected things for good?
Okay,
because R1 announced they're relaunching their pricing structure.
Oh,
so that you could do unlimited creations.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
I was like,
you did it.
Victory for us. I was like, thank you. It's good.
That's amazing.
It's good to be influential. I'm sure it had nothing to do with us, but it's likely that just people were creating so many things. And they've had, in the 2 weeks since launch, they've had over 10,000 creations launched in their store. So it really is.
Wow, amazing.
If you find this useful, these conversations, or just staying on top of AI news, we would love for you to like or subscribe and comment. Do both of a thing, not just the one thing. 2 of the 3 things.
Do 2 of the 3.
Do
your
two
choice.
Of the 3.
So choose your own adventure.
Yes.
Whichever 2 of the 3 speaks to you.
Exactly.
Maybe you're a like and comment guy.
Exactly. Maybe you're a comment and subscribe guy.
Maybe you're a subscribe and like guy or girl. Maybe you like all 3.
Just do it for us. Do it for us.
Some new Kickstarters out. There's a yoga VR that's AI powered. It's mostly VR.
Okay.
And there's some like custom training in there and some natural language.
Language?
They're so sorry.
Language.
I don't let anything go by, so I deserve that. So natural language. And it looks stupid. There's a thing called the Ubo Pod. This kind of look cool. It's a Raspberry Pi in a little case that lets you connect to whatever agents you want. You add their API keys. It's got a little display on it. Connects to MCPs. Has a remote control. You can self-host Home Assistant on it. It's $150 Canadian.
Wow. So that basically goes against what we were saying about the home building of an automation thing.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not sure that it's the most powerful, best. It's a Raspberry Pi 4,
right?
In a little case, it is a pretty cool little thing, and it's a really good cost.
Which model is it running? Do you know?
Well, it has Home Assistant on it.
Oh, Home Assistant,
and then you can connect through your API keys to whatever whatever you're paying for.
Got you.
Yeah. That looks pretty cool. Now, a little bit bad timing because they started off their video with talking about the little the Google Home hockey pucks. Now these things suck. They never understand you. And
they're going to be great.
They just released Gemini. Yeah. So he's probably got to redo that video.
Right.
But it does look like a really interesting little tool.
That's handy.
There's the NeuroMova N1, the world's first AI sports headband. It looks like a rubber tourniquet that you wear on your head.
Right.
It measures your focus, stress, and fatigue so that your coach can help improve your training.
The slogan is, wear your brain on the outside.
It's not. And then, but it's strapped and it like measures your brainwave. And I'm not sure that in sports, like, do I need to wear this thing so that when I'm playing tennis,
it'll measure.
My trainer knows if I'm stressed? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Might be fun to wear it at work. Kind of like, oh, that's when I got that email from that guy. You can probably compare the data.
Right,
it's like, when was I most stressed out at work? What happened? It's
when
like,
I'm
when I was meeting with Jim.
Yeah.
Jim seems to stress you out a lot.
Yeah.
So that'd be fun. Now, the last one is the LCMD AI-powered microserver and private cloud. I feel bad for UboPod, but it is a different price point.
Okay.
Do you know about the NVIDIA Jetson AGX Orin?
Yes, I do.
So super cool. So it's it is like a Raspberry Pi for LLM or like AI developers.
Exactly.
It's just so they've
a tiny little unit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
$250.
64. So they've got this thing. It's 64 tensor core, which is more expensive than that one.
Right.
64 gigabyte GPU.
Mm-hmm.
It's got AI photo and video search built into it. It's a little file server. It's got Chromecast built into it. It's got cross-platform syncing of files, which so I was like, okay, it's an NAS. Right. It has image generation, so text to image generation built in, which I thought, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
It hosts a 70B model.
Right.
Which is impressive in a thing the size of a squared out pomelo.
But it does, but it does have
maybe
64 gigs of GPU. Well, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's why it can handle a 70B model. Like, if you're buying that $1,000 gaming PC, you're not doing that. You're getting a 7B.
That's right.
Maybe a 13.
Yep.
Probably 7.
Maybe.
The base backing point is about $1,000. That's not for that top model,
right?
The average backer is spending about $2,700. So compared to the Ubo, about 20 times the price, but way more powerful.
Yes,
way more powerful.
Built with an LLM in it.
Yeah,
you know,
so it looks super cool. You'd probably be able. I don't know how much you can administrate it yourself, but you probably could get like a Home Assistant built or Home Assistant installed. I feel like it.
Yeah, I feel like you probably could.
Anyway, super cool. That little chip, that little thing is super cool.
The Orin,
just like this
really cool,
overpowered Raspberry Pi.
Yeah,
it's amazing,
super cool,
amazing. Okay, so that's it. So we'll see everybody back here in 2 weeks,
where everything will have changed, and we're gonna do this all over again.
Bye.